Hi, today is day 15 of Swing Fit. I am using a set of light weights, like 3 pounds, but feel free to go to 5, and a set of heavier weights, 9 pounds. So we're actually gonna come to the mat, getting started right away, coming to all fours. We're gonna start with our cat-cows. So have a nice long spine from the top of your head down to your tail. You're gonna take a deep breath in, and then on your exhale, round through that back. So inhale, exhale, tuck that tailbone, round through that spine. Inhale, open it up. Exhale. Inhale, feeling a stretch through those abdominals. Exhale and round. Press those hands into that mat. Inhale. One more each direction. Keep that breath going, slow and controlled. And then finding that nice neutral spine. We're coming on down prone onto our bellies. I am going to stack my hand one on top of each other. I'm spreading my knees apart and connecting my heels. So you can see the bottom part of my legs are lifted off the ground. It's like a diamond shape behind me. You can lower that head all the way down, forehead down to the back of your hands. And we're just going to bring your one leg is going to lift away into the side from the heel of the other leg, and then you're going to bring it back. Then you're going to switch. So we're working on internal rotation, alternating legs here. So just keep moving it out and away to the side and bring it back. We're working on internal rotation of that hip socket. Loosening up those hips. Working the hips in a direction we don't normally get, but is good for strengthening and mobility of our hips. So we're just continuing here. While we're lying prone, working through this mobility, you want to make sure you have that tummy pressed towards your spine, that ribcage drawn in, and you're just breathing here. Just working this, feeling it through, also through the glute med and min, so those muscles on the side of the glutes there. Just continuing here, working to get some reps as we work through this. Okay, you go lay down. Go lay down. Holding it for a few more. Let's take this for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Nice job. You can straighten out those legs, press yourself up and back into a child's pose. Let's press, bring both hands over to one side and sit that opposite hip over. And then bring it back over to the other side and press that opposite hip away. And then bring it back through center. Press yourself up to all fours again. We are going to bring let's bring our right arm, forearm down. Scooch out of the way, buddy. Forearm down. We're going to bring our, right arm, forearm down, right or left leg out long and opening up through that hip socket. The other hand is just on the mat, palm down. We're gonna lift and lower. So we're getting a lot of side leg work here. So lifting and lowering, tapping that foot down to the ground. You're externally rotated with that head, holding it here. Keeping that, if you can point through that ankle, otherwise a flex foot works too. Whatever feels more comfortable. You're gonna feel the work a little different if you point versus flex. Holding those abdominals in for 5, 4. If you want your gaze down at the ground, that works too. 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. Now we're gonna bring that knee in towards our chest, and you're gonna send it out, tap it down, lift it up, bring it in. So try to keep your knee from sinking. Keep it in line with that hip if you can. So we continue here. Feeling the work also through the leg that's supporting you on the ground. Not going too fast here. Let's finish this for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. We're gonna hold it here. You're gonna extend that leg out and bring it in. So straightening through that leg out to the side. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep that leg bent, keep it up and out. Let's pulse it up, the whole leg from the hip socket. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Whew. Sit back into that child's pose. Definitely felt it through those glutes, through the side of the hip. The leg that we just worked, so let's bring it forward into a bent knee position. Back leg is long. Trying to have everything facing forward. You're going to lean down towards that bent leg. Forearms can be on that ground. Just feeling a stretch here as you hold it. You can press that foot or that leg into that ground. Holding that stretch. So place both hands on the ground, palms on the ground. Lengthen through that spine and see if you can lift up into a little bit of an extension, shoulders down and back. As you hold this while you stretch. If you have to bend through that back leg, that's okay. And then we're going to bring it back down. And I'm going to kind of turn away from you to come out of that position and go to side 2. So we're back on all 4s. We are going to be working the other leg now. So I'm putting my left arm down, my right leg out long, and my other hand is on that mat. You're lifting and lowering without rocking those hips back and forth or falling out of this position. If you want to keep your gaze down, you can. Keep that core engaged, holding it. A few more here before we add on. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it out. Now we're bringing it in, press it out and down. In, out, and down. Bring it up, in, out, and down. For 8. Holding it still here. If you need to come to standing, you could also do that if this bothers the shoulder. You could lean on the back of a couch, on a counter, whatever works. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. This time we hold it, bringing that leg in and out, holding that leg at about hip height for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, feeling it through that glute of that leg that's supporting, 2, 1, bend through that leg. Let's lift that leg up and down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it down. Whew. Whew. Sit back into a child's pose for a moment. And then that leg you just worked, we're gonna bring it forward and have it bent in front of us. The back leg is long. You're gonna come forward, pressing into that mat, pressing those hips forward to get that stretch. Holding the stretch for a moment. And then we're gonna use those hands to lengthen and pull that navel in, press those shoulders down and back. Hold that extension stretch. Pressing those hands into that mat for deep breaths. Nice job. And then I'm going to round on out to come out of it. I'm going to turn and face the other direction again. I'm grabbing onto my light weights. I'm sitting up tall on the sits bones, so the bottom part of my glutes. I have my knees bent. My feet are, you can either have them flat and knees in closer to the chest, or if you need to extend them out with your heels sinking into that ground, we're gonna bring those arms out to shoulder height. Keep a good engagement of those low abdominals, nice and tight, pull it in. Keeping that spine long, we're going to lean back from the hips, keeping it long, shoulders down and back, and then you're gonna bring it back up to that seated tall position. So we're staying seated tall, but we're just leaning back from those hips and using those abdominals to lift ourselves back up. Now make sure you exhale on the way down, inhale on the reset. Keep those abdominals pulled in. You should actively feel those low abdominals pulling up from your pubic bone as you hold this here. Few more, no rounded spine, nice and long, shoulders down and back. Hold it on this next one. So we're holding it, we have that tummy tucked in tight. You feel those low abdominals working, rib cage is not popping, you're breathing. We're gonna bring that right arm overhead and back. Left arm overhead and back. Here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that breath. Bring both arms up. Hold it there. Try to lift up nice and tall, and then lower those arms back down. Take one deep breath. We're gonna bring it back on down. Lift both arms up. Come up seated tall and lower it down. Just a few more like that. Bring both arms up. Use those abdominals to lift yourself back up to seated tall. Bring it back. The arms up and come up. One more. Bring it back, arms up. You can always do this without weights as well. Now we're gonna hold it back. We're gonna open up into some rotation and bring it back. Rotate the other direction and bring it back. So we're not lifting our hips off that ground. We're just opening up and rotating. Holding it here. Soft bend to that elbow of that arm that's opening for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring it up, arms up, bring it up, and lower down. Whew, okay, nice job. We are going to, let's take this into a down dog. So coming back to all fours, take one cat-cow, round through that back, extend through that spine, find that length, tuck those toes, pike those hips up, hold that stretch, try to press those heels towards the ground, press the upper body towards your legs, hold it for a couple breaths. Inhale through that nose, exhale through that mouth, walk those hands towards your feet, round it all the way on up. Nice job. I'm gonna grab onto my heavy sets of weights here. So I have my 2 9-pound weights. I'm standing just parallel, about hip distance apart. I have weights in both hands, drawing my shoulders down and back, tucking my navel towards my spine. I'm just leaning to one side without sending that hip out. Try to keep those hips stacked and bring it on up, and leaning to the other side. And this is where we go. So use those obliques, make that muscle mind connection to lift those, use those obliques to lift yourself back up to standing tall and straight. If you feel anything in your low back, you're not engaging that core enough. So keep those low abdominals pressed in and up as you lean on over. You're gonna feel this, especially if you haven't done a move like this in a while, and holding this weight for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and bring it back up. Nice job. I'm going to drop one of my heavy weights. I'm going to hold on in one side, and I am standing hip distance parallel feet. I have that weight in by my chest. We're going to end it here with a few side lateral raises of the leg. My foot is nice and flexed. So I'm going to sit back into a chair squat. Make sure those knees are tracking over that second and third toe. And then I'm going to lift it up and extend that leg with a nice flexed foot. Take that chair squat and lift it up. So we're here. So as you lift, make sure you are keeping that foot nice and flexed, lifting that leg. We want to feel it through again, working really a lot of the side hip, side glutes. You can extend those arms overhead as you lift that leg up. Pull up through those abdominals, holding it here. Wrapping this up, definitely going to get the heart rate up too. That's okay. It's always good to get that heart rate up every day. Breathing here. Let's take it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down into that chair squat. Hold. Have that weight towards the back of your heels, knees shining forward. If you have the ability, try to bring those arms up, extend them up and out, hold that squat, breathe for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, press it down, and bring it up. And place that weight down. Let's take one deep breath here. So catch your breath, take a breath, reach those arms up, lengthening through that spine. Open those arms to the side, connect your hands behind you, and really pull and try to lift those arms away if you can, opening up through that chest. Bring one ear to shoulder, getting a stretch there, bring it up, other ear to shoulder, bring it up, turn towards one direction with your neck, and then the other, bring it forward, release. If you want to take a counter stretch, interlock those fingers, press it away, and then roll up those shoulders, and you're all set. Thank you.